The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Pichitchai Nopagao. Chapter 10 Pirates. Tom's mind was made up now. He was gloomy and desperate. He was a lonely, friendless boy. He thought when they found out what when they found out what they had driven him to, perhaps they would be sorry. Nothing would please them but to get rid of him. Let it be so, and let them blame him for the result. Yes, they had forced him to it at last. He would lead a life of crime. There was no choice. By this time he was far away from school, and the bell for lessons came faintly to his ear. The tears came into his eyes as he thought that he would never hear that old familiar sound again. Just at this point, he met his great friend, Joe Harper, who had evidently a great and mournful purpose in his heart. Tom, wiping his eye with his sleeve, began to mourn something about his determination to escape from lack of sympathy at home by wandering into the great world, never to return. He ended by hoping that Joe would not forget him, but it appeared that Joe had also made up his mind to run away from home. He had been searching for Tom to give him this important piece of information. His mother had whipped him for drinking some cream, which he had not tasted and which he knew something about. It was plain that she was tired of him and wished him to go. As the two boys walked sorrowing along, they swore to stand by each other and to be brothers till death relieved them of their troubles. Then they began to lay their plans. Joe wanted to be a holy man and live on bits of bread in a calf, and die, and at last, of cold, want and grief. But after listening to Tom, he agreed that there were some outstanding advantages about a life of crime, and so he consented. To be a pirate. 3 miles below St. Petersburg, at a point where the Mississippi River was about a mile wide, there was a long, narrow, wooded island with a shallow sandbar at the head of it. This island would be a suitable meeting place. It was not inhabited, and lay for over towards the farthest bank, facing a thick forest. So Jackson's Island was chosen. Then they searched for Huckleberry Finn, and he joined them directly, for all professions were the same to him. They arranged to meet at a lonely spot on the river bank 2 miles above the village at their favorite hour, midnight. There was a small log raft there which they intended to capture. Each would bring books and fishing lines and such foods as he could steal in the dark and mysterious way of a true pirate. During the afternoon they told everyone that soon the town would hear something starting. All who got this wake, all who got this fake news were warned to keep it a secret and wait. About midnight, Tom arrived with some meat and a few trifles, and stopped in the thick bushes on a steep slope overlooking the meeting place. He gave a low whistle. It was answered from the foot of the slope. Tom whistled twice more. Their signals were answered in the same way. "Who goes there?" said a fierce voice. "Tom Sawyer, the black adventure of the Spanish seas. Give me your names." "Huck Finn, the Red Hand, and Joe Harper, the Terror of the Oceans." Tom had provided this title from his favorite literature. Give the password. Give the password. Two whispers delivered the same awful word at the same time to the bracelet knight. Pirates flood. Then Tom rolled his meat down the slope and let himself down after it, tearing both skin and clothes in the effort. There was an easy, comfortable path along the bank at the foot of the slope, but Tom knew that a real pirate preferred difficulty and danger to ease and comfort. The terror of the ocean has brought a big bag full of love and has tired himself out carrying it there. Finn the Red Hand has stolen a frying pan and a quality of tobacco. The black adventure of Spanish seas said that they could not start without some fire. That was a weird thought, for matches were hardly known there in those days. They saw a fire upon a great roof 100 yards above, and they went and helped themselves to a glowing piece of wood. They made an exciting adventure of it, saying "Shh" every now and then, suddenly stopping with finger on lip, moving with hands on imaginary knives, and giving orders in fierce whispers. They knew that the roused men were all down at the village, But that did not matter. They had to steal the fire in the right piratical way. They put up presently. Tom in command. Huck at the up at the aft Huck at the after oar and Joe at the forward. Tom with a gloomy face and folded arms gave his orders in a low, stern whisper. Bring her to wind. Hey, sir. Steady, steady, steady is it, sir. What sails is she carrying? What sail is she carrying? Mainsail, sir. What sails is she carrying? Mainsails, sir. Send the topsails up. Lively now. Hey, sir. As the boys steadily and unevenly dropped in the rough towards mid-river, it was no doubt understood that these orders were given only for style, and were not intended to mean anything in particular. Hardly a word was said. Hardly a word was said during the next three-quarters of an hour. Now, the rough was passing the few glimmering lights of the distant village. The black adventurers stood still with folded arms, taking a last look at the scene of his former joys and later sufferings. He wished that those whom he had lived forever could see him now, on the stormy sea, facing hardships, and that, with a courageous heart, the other pirates were taking a last look, too. They looked so long that they nearly floated past the island. But they discovered the danger in time, and at about 2 o'clock in the morning, the rough stuck on the sandbar. They walked backwards and forwards through the shallow water until they had landed their supplies. They had found an old sail on the little raft, and this they splayed over some branches on, and this they split over some branches as a tent to shelter their food. They themselves would sleep in the open air in fine weather, as pirates should. They built a fire in the wood, cooked some meat in a frying pan, and had it for supper with some of the loaf. It seemed glorious fun to be feasting in that wild, free way, far from civilization. The fire lit up their faces, and the tree trunks around. After supper, they stretched themselves out of the glass, filled with contentment. "Isn't it jolly?" said Joe. "It's grand," said Tom. "I don't want anything better than this," said Huckleberry. "I don't get enough to eat, actually, and her people can't come and kick and worry me." Huckleberry now filled his pipe with tobacco, pressed a glowing coal to it, and blew out a cloud of sweet-smelling smoke. The other pirates invited him this impressive voice. The other pirates envy him this impressive voice, and secretly determined to adopt it soon. "What do pirates do?" asked Huck. "Oh, they have a fine time," said Tom. "They take ships and burn them, and get the money and bury it in awful places in their island, where there are ghosts to watch it, and kill everybody in the ships. And they wear the loveliest clothes, all gold and silver and diamonds," said Tom. I don't think I'm properly dressed for a pirate," said Huck, regarding his own clothes sadly. But these are the only ones I got." But the other boys told him that the fine clothes would come fast enough after they had begun their adventures. Gradually, their talk died out, and sleepiness began to steal upon the eyelids of the adventurers. The pipe dropped from the fingers of the raised hand. The turtle of the oceans and the black adventurer had more difficulty in getting to sleep. They said their prayers silently and lying down, since there was nobody there with authority to make them kneel and say them aloud. As they were about to fall asleep, an unwelcome visitor crept up and could not be driven away. It was conscience. They began to feel awake, fear that it was wrong to run away from home. Next, they thought of the stolen meat and bread. They tried to argue it away by reminding conscience that they had taken sweets and cakes and apples without permission dozens of times. But conscience would not accept such a thin argument. In the end, they were forced to admit that running off with cakes was only taking, while running off with meat and loaf of bread was plain, simple stealing, and there was a command against that in the Bible. So in their hearts they resolved that as long as they were pirates, they would have nothing to do with the crime of stealing. Conscience was satisfied, and this odd pirates fell peacefully asleep.